What we're going to do today is we're going to look at the property of logarithms. We're going to start off with the bottom three, product, quotient, and power properties. The product property, it basically means that when we multiply logs and we expand them, we're really adding them. Or with the quotient property, when we divide, what we do is we subtract. The third one is the power property. That means that whenever we have an exponent, what we do is we bring it to the front. And that's how we get the n in the front. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand the logarithms. How we expand it is we look at our base number and we're going to write the log base 5. Because the 2 and the x are multiplying, what we're going to do is we're going to add them. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the log base 5 again, and we're going to put x. Now you may have noticed that we have a 3 as the exponent. The 3 is in front of the x, so that means when we expand it, what we're going to do is we're going to put the 3 in front of the log. Now looking at letter B, what we notice is that we have a base of 1/3. So what we're going to do is we're going to do log base 1/3. Our first value is a 4, so we're going to put 4. Notice that there's multiplication here, so that means we're going to put a plus sign, and we're going to do the log of 1/3 of y. Once again, what we notice is that there's an exponent for the y, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a 2 in front of the log. Notice that this time what we're doing is we're dividing. Dividing means that we subtract logs, so what we're going to do is we're going to subtract the log, and then we're going to put an x. Now you may have noticed that what we have is we have a square root, and square root means that the exponent is a half. So what we have is 1/2 log of x. Now, if we're looking at the next one, what we see is that we have a natural log. Natural log follows the same rules as a log. So we're going to put natural log of 7 plus natural log of x. Once again, we see an exponent, so we put it to the front. And then in this case, what we have is a -2. So what we're going to do is we're going to put minus 2 natural log of y. And that right there is our answer. What we're going to do next is we're going to look at example 2. This time we're going to express each expression as a single logarithm. So notice that we have natural log, natural log, natural log, natural log. So we're going to write one natural log. This is a 2, so we put a 2. This x is positive, so we're going to put it as the numerator. Both of these, notice that we have subtraction signs, so they're going to go in the denominator. We have a 5, we have an x. Notice that there's a 3 in front, so it's x to the third. Now notice that this right here can be simplified. We have an x on top and an x on the bottom, so it simplifies natural log 2 over 5x squared. We're subtracting the exponents. I'm going to put this in parentheses so it looks like one term. Now looking at letter B, we're going to do the exact same thing. Notice that we have a log base 2. So we're going to put log base 2. Our 12 is positive, so we're going to put it in the numerator. Our 3 is negative, so we're going to put it in the denominator. The 64 is positive, so I'm going to put times 64 to the 1/2. And the 2 is negative. So I'm going to put times 2, and then the 2 is cubed. We could simplify this. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue this process, simplifying. The 12 and the 3 cancel. This becomes a 4. Then what we have is the square root of 64. Square root of 64 is 8. So what we have is log base 2 of 4 times 8. Once again, remember the 1/2 is the square root for the 64. 2 cubed is 8. So what we have is an 8. The 8's cancel. So what we have is we have log base 2 of 4. Now, before we finish it, what we notice at the very top is that when the bases are the same, it equals to the exponent. Why that's important is because we learned earlier that 4 is the same thing as 2 squared. Since the bases are the same, they become 1. So our final answer is 2.